Hello, I am Wesley Ways and welcome to Neontech. Today we are going to cover the basics of programming in just 5 minutes. Let's dive in. Programming, also known as coding, is the process of designing and building instructions for computers to follow. These instructions, called code, are written in languages that computers can understand. What do you need to know in programming? First, we have variables and data types. In programming, we use variables to store data of different types. A variable has a name and a value. For example, age is equals to 25. Data types include integers, floats, which are decimal numbers, strings, which are text, and booleans, which are true or false, as shown in the image on the right. Next, we have operators. Operators are symbols that perform operations on variables and values. Common operators include addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the equal sign known as assignment. Once we are done with operators, we move to control structures. Control structures are used to control the flow of the program. For example, if statements, which create conditional execution of the code, or loops like for and while, which cause the repeating of a block of code. To make re-executable blocks of code, we make use of functions. Functions are blocks of code that perform a specific task. They help organize code and make it reusable. Functions can take inputs, also known as parameters, and return outputs. Another data type that we did not discuss earlier on is arrays and lists. Arrays and lists are a common data type used to store multiple values in a single variable. They allow you to work with a collection of data, such as a list of numbers. On the right, you can see an array known as array 1, which has an array of numbers from 1 to 10. That is an example of an array. In programming, we have different programming paradigms. One of the most common programming paradigms is object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming, also known as OOP, is used in a manner that provides objects and classes to structure codes. Objects have properties, which are their attributes, and methods, which are their functions that define their behavior. While programming, it is very common to encounter errors. This is why error handling is one of the most important processes during programming. Error handling is the process of dealing with errors that may occur during program execution. This includes catching and handling of exceptions to prevent crashes. To make programs interactive, input-output operations are used. Input-output operations allow a program to interact with the user or other systems. For example, reading input from the keyboard or a file and displaying output to the screen. Once all this is done, it is time to test our program. Testing and debugging is the last step in the programming process, and it is one of the most crucial. Testing and debugging ensures that your code works as expected and helps you find and fix errors. Now, these are just the basics of programming, but they form the foundation for all programming languages, and as you continue with your coding journey, you'll explore these concepts in more depth, since they may vary from one coding language to another. Also, if you haven't already done so, feel free to punch that subscribe button, leave a like, and hit the bell icon to be notified of any new content. Till next time, happy coding!